Hi, welcome to Ian HRP on YouTube and welcome to today's video for the Nextbase in-car camera, and it's the 402g Professional. So as I said, today's video is all about the Nextbase 402g Professional in-car camera. It was going to be about the 302, but I returned it because it was very poor. I will show you footage later and you can compare. The difference in price, this one is, when I bought it, was £113, I think, no sorry, £130, and the 302 is £80, so there's about a £40 jump in price, but if you can afford to go for this one over the 302, I would highly recommend it. But we'll get on to that later. Right, let's have a quick look around the box. On the front you can see is a Best Buy from Which magazine. If you're watching in another country other than the UK, Which is a consumer magazine, and it's very well known and it's very well respected in this country. And it was the Best Buy Dashcam July 2015. It is a 1080p Full HD camera. It's the professional one, as it's got the GPS logging, so it records where your position is, and also it's got wide dynamic range, which means it's better in darker conditions. So as you can see from the writing, it's got easy to install, just click and go. Automatic records while you're driving, instant evidence for insurance claims, built-in battery and microphone, supports micro SD, not SD, which was slightly annoying when I swapped it over from the 302 because that takes SD cards, so I have to invest in some micro SD. Anyway, so that costs a bit more. So something to bear in mind, you need to have a micro SD card, which obviously you don't get in the box. Plays back on Windows and Mac, and it's a very good Mac system as well. I'll show you that later. And it has it's 12 volt to 24 volt DC compatible, high definition output, and mile per hour and kilometre per hour compatible as well. And then the main specs: 2.7 inch 16:9 LCD screen, which doesn't give the best, but you don't really, you won't have that on while you're driving. A wide 140-degree angle, 6G sharp glass lens, f1.6, a G sensor as well, so it automatically protects you, or protects the file if it detects harsh braking or crashing. SOS data protection, motion detection, and day-night use as well. So that's really much about it around the box. The rest of the box is pretty standard. I will just quickly show you what you get in the box. You get the camera, the mount, the car power cable, a USB cable, a HD cable, quick start guide and software manuals, etc. So let's show you a bit more detail about what you get actually in the box. So in the box you get your USB adapter for the car power, or the cigarette lighter. I don't think they call them that anymore, being politically correct. You can't smoke anymore, so yeah. Anyway, it's a standard adapter which fits into most cars. You also get a HDMI to mini HDMI cable, which, as you can tell, I've not used. You get a USB cable as well. You've seen plenty of those, so I won't show you that. You get a sticker, which I believe if you buy this for a commercial vehicle like a truck or a taxi, you have to put this on there to warn people that you are being filmed. But if it's for personal use, you don't. Apparently if you load it onto YouTube, you do. Yeah. Who's going to bother? There's so many dashcam videos out there. A very simple quick start guide, which just shows you what to do. Easy. A CD with software on for Mac and Windows, so it does work with both, which is very good indeed. Unusual this day and age to see Mac stuff. And also a instruction manual, etc. there. And then the other device is the mount, which clicks on. How do you get this off now? Oh, there we go. It's quite firm. So yeah, that's the dash mount. So it's a sucker one, which is good, and it's very strong as well. So it's not fallen off once. So a nice little device, that one as well. And then you get the main body, which is the main part of the pack, which is the camera itself. So looking around the camera, you obviously have the Nextbase logo on there. That is the main lens, 1.4 f1.6, sorry, 1.6 for the lens as well, which means it's got a nice wide aperture, which means it should have in plenty of light. I believe they are night vision UV lights. You don't need them on if you're driving it. It picks up enough on a dark road for just with the lights, and if you're in a lit area it picks up plenty as well, so you don't need those on. And then that is your microphone there. On the back you have your buttons for skip and forward, and I think that one there is, I've not used it yet properly, that one there is to save a file if you need to make sure that it's not overwritten. The menu, EV and mode buttons, and then that is the screen itself, a bit dirty at the moment. On the top you have the micro USB power cable, the AV. I believe you can get built-in speakers, but to be fair I don't think you really need it. The power on and off, and then that's the option to take a photo as well, which you can do. If you're involved in something you can press that button and it will take a photo of the certain things that go on. That made no sense whatsoever here. Right, let's quickly get that in focus. This is your HD out, which is a mini HDMI cable, or mini HDMI, which you get included, so you can plug it straight into your TV as well. And then on this side you have the flash storage. You just literally put your micro SD card in there. Takes up to 32 gig. I think 32 gig will give you approximately 4.5 hours worth of footage, whereas an 8 gig will give you about an hour. So if you're happy you can have an hour. I went for a 32 gig just because I like to store as much as possible, and it's quite interesting watching you driving back as well, realising not quite as good as you thought you were. Right, let's have a look at the menus, and we'll power this device on. So let's look at the menus of the camera. This has got a built-in battery, however it lasts about 10 minutes or so, so it's enough if you really need it, but it does work best off power. So let me just plug the device in and it will automatically turn itself on. And you can see it should, there you go, start to record straight away, as you can see by the little flashing light there and the timer there. And the screen will auto turn itself off after 10 seconds. You're not meant to have the screen on while you're driving. Apparently it's against the law in the UK. So let's stop the recording, which you have to do to go into the menus. There we go. And let's have a look at the menus then. So the first row of menus is all about the actual video recording itself. So you can have the resolution, which you can have at 1080p, 720p, 720p, 60 frames per second, and 480p as well if you would really want it. Not sure why you would. You have your exposure, white balance. Just on the exposure, I've set it as default. You may want to increase it slightly if you're doing a lot of night driving. The white balance, record the audio on or off. The date stamp, loop recording, which you can set for 2 minutes, 3 minutes or 5 minutes. A 3-minute video is about 100 meg, so not that big at all. And then you've got your G sensor, which will protect a recording if it detects a certain sort of level of G-force. So if you brake harshly or you stop suddenly, then that will come up. So at the moment it's set on the middle. That's the default option, so I've left it at that. The motion detection detects if someone walks in front of the camera. It's recommended to be off as default. If you park your car up and a cat walks past, it will record it, so you can have that on if you want it, but I've set it to off. You can put your number plate in there. You can have a fatigue warning if it beeps out if you've been driving for too long. A GPS stamp, which gives you your longitude and latitude on the actual video recording itself. The speed and compass, password protect the settings, the speed units, and if you want to rotate the display. Let's go to the second set of menus. You have the you can format the card, which is recommended you do whenever you put in a new card. Your language, date, time zone, the frequency, which I think is 50 and 60 hertz. Yes, it is, depending on where you are in the world. The LED light, which you can put on to help with the nighttime vision, but you don't need it as a rule. The beep sounds, which I've still got on, but I think I will turn off. I find them highly annoying. The screensaver you can set for 10 seconds, 30 seconds, 2 minutes, or off. As I said, I think if you're in the UK, it's illegal to have the screen on while you are driving. You can, the TV mode, which means you can hook it up via the HDMI cable, the speed stamp on the video as well, the version number, very easy to update. You just need a blank micro SD card, download the latest software version and stick it on and it automatically updates itself, and then you can put it back to default settings. Right, just going to change the screensaver, turn it off for now so I can show you the actual video. So press the menu button and then you can see here some of the information on the video. So I'll record by pressing the OK key. You have on there the WDR, which means that the wide dynamic range of light, so it gives you a better picture at night, is on. The recording, what frame rate it's on or what quality it's on. Your white balance and exposure levels there. The power, the satellite's got inbuilt GPS as well, and then you've got your recording length and then the date and time. Very, very simple, very easy to set up. The button here, if you're in or you want to protect a file, you press that and I believe it locks that file so it can't be removed. And I believe it does it for the whole 3 minutes if I'm correct. The mode, if you press that, I need to stop recording. Press the mode and it should take you into picture mode, so you can take a photo, and also playback mode. So let's play back a clip. Let's find one for driving. There we go. So let's play back this clip. And you can quickly review the clip on here. The quality of the screen is not bad actually. The sound is not brilliant, but if you want to quickly review something you can do. And then press the mode again and you're back into the video cam and recording mode. So there you go, quick look at the menus and the back of the device. Now let's have a look at the quality of the video which I've been taking over the last few days. So the first piece of footage we're seeing was recorded at 7:24 in the morning on the 18th of December, so it was a dark morning, and it's really just to show you the quality of the nighttime recording you're going to get when you're not in street lights. Driving along the roads, you can see, you can make out the cars in front of you, the sky at the top as well has got a bit of detail to it. It's a little fuzzy, I'm not quite sure if that's the actual processing of the video or not. Now we're just coming up to some street lighting, and this will be quite good to see the difference in the quality of the video once you get onto lit areas at night. As you can see, it's bringing out quite a nice bit of detail actually. The road signs are very clear. The number plate in front is clear just as we come in, and it does get a lot clearer as well. And as you can see, it's a very good quality nighttime or low light video recording. So this is the same journey. I'm actually driving to work and we're just coming across a road that is well lit, or fairly well lit, and I just wanted to show you the quality of the video you get at night. As you can see, you can make out the number plate fairly well from the car in front of me, and it also picks up cars coming towards you. Not so bad, you could make out the number plate if you wanted to on there as well. I'm just going to stop talking and let you hear what the audio quality is like from the inbuilt microphone. So as you can tell, the audio quality is not that bad actually. It picks up voices fairly well, and if you've got the radio loud, you can hear the radio as well. It picks up speech off radio better than the music, but not bad audio quality. So the next clip is daytime. Unfortunately, it's a bit of a wet day, so not particularly bright, but it does give you an idea of the quality of the picture during daylight hours and when you're driving along during the day. As you can see, it picks up the detail of the number plates very well, of the road signs very well as well. It's got a nice colour to it, and it's got a fair amount of detail, and it's not bleeding out particularly badly in most places. So the next video you're going to see is going to be a comparison between the 302 and the 402. The 302 is on the left, the 402 on the right, and this is a cropped image, and you can see the difference in quality on the number plates. It's quite apparent, the difference in quality. The next side by side is driving with the two different cameras. Again, the 302 is on the left, and this is at night time, and you can see the difference in the amount of detail that the camera is picking up. The extra £30 is really worth it for the difference in quality you get between these two cameras. It's quite amazing actually, and as you can see, it just brings out so much more detail, and particularly at night it's a lot more apparent. Now this clip will show you the difference between the two cameras when you're driving in darkness, with just your headlights illuminating the road in front of you. There isn't as much difference in this, but you will see that the road is a lot clearer, the lines are a lot clearer, and it does tend to pick up a bit more detail further in front of you on the 402 on the right hand side. Now the final bit of in-car footage that I'm going to show you is a cropped version, and it's just going to show you the detail on a sign from the two cameras. On the left again is the 302, on the right is the 402, and as you can see the amount of detail on the text really does illustrate the difference in quality. So I'm just going to quickly show you the software that you can get. Now this is obviously the Mac version, as it's the only PC I've got, so this is the one that I'm using. It's called Driver Recorder Player, and it's currently on version 1.1. A couple of annoying little things. First of all, you can't actually scale the window at all. It is stuck at whatever length it is, but it's quite a good bit of software actually. So as you can see, on this side of the screen you have a map which actually pinpoints where you're driving from and to. You have your compass bearing there as well, and it also gives you your northeast percentages. That's where the files are. On this side you've got your maximum speed, the average speed and the total distance travelled, and then you have your accelerometer there, and it also gives you your G-force sensors as well. So very simple to load files, so we will load some in. Let's give you some ones with daylight. So there we go. Where are we? That'll do. Right, so if you want to load a file in, you literally select them off the SD card straight away. You can play it back from there, or you can copy them over to your PC, and then you literally just open the files in, and it starts to play back here on this side, and then it will also tell you where you actually are in the world there. So it marks on the map where you're driving at the particular time. So as you can see, the maximum speed in this clip is 14 miles an hour. The average speed is 2 miles an hour. I'm actually just leaving work on a lunchtime here. So I shall start moving shortly, I believe. There we go. So yeah, this very annoying van parked in the middle of the turn in there, as you do. So as you can see, it's got fairly decent playback on this. It's nice and easy to tell. You can skip forward nicely. Gives you all of the information on there. Tells you the miles per hour, your longitude and latitude, the date and time as well. I now have to wait for ages for this stupid man in this car here to move for me to get past. So let's click on the next clip. So as you can see here, it's now recording my speed and acceleration, and on this side it's showing you where I'm actually driving on the map. Just checking and making sure I'm keeping within the speed limit on here. Oh, ooh, over here, naughty naughty. But as you can see here, this gives you your G-forces as well. So I presume if you brake heavy, that goes up, and it gives you the peak speed as well, along with the live accelerator. So all of this information is included within the file that you're watching, but it doesn't affect it at all. It's a .mov file, so it's easily editable. On most devices and most software you'll be able to edit that, and it's got all this information here, so it's a really good bit of software, particularly if you want if you're involved in an accident, you can tell them exactly where you were, you can show them on the map, you can tell them how fast you were going, or cover that bit up if you're speeding. But yeah, it's a nice bit of software. It's good for playing back the video, and of course you can just copy the video over, which I will do. Let me just pause that there. This is playing it back on full screen on the Mac. You can see the quality of it fairly well there. Let me just zoom out slightly, and you can hear the radio playing as well, so you can pick up the sound and you can watch them as you would normally, or you can edit them as you want. So there you go, that's today's video for the Nextbase in-car camera. Really good device. I'm very happy with it compared to the 302g, which I was very disappointed with the quality of the clips. This is remarkably better, very clear, Does exactly what I wanted it to do. It protects you when you're driving around for insurance claims and things like that, but it also means that you can have some fun if you get a funny clip, or hopefully not, but record something that's happened. You can watch it back as well. I don't know. I don't know of many. I don't know what the policy. That's shit. So there you go, that's today's video for the Nextbase 402g professional in-car camera. Very, very happy with it. It's a very, very good device. So much better than the 302, which was the original one I brought. The extra £40 in cost is well worth it for the features you get on here as well. So yeah, a really nice camera. Protects you for insurance purposes, but also means you can look back at your driving. If something particularly funny happens or whatever, you can got evidence of what happens, and it's very easy to play back, and the quality is very good as well. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you've got any questions, post them in the comments below. If you want to find the link to this, you can do. I'll put a link down in the description down there, along with that button there is the like button, and the subscribe button is about there. So if you'd like to subscribe, there's some more videos coming up in the new year. Until then, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.